Good morning, everybody. I want to welcome you to an exciting morning and really a great kickoff for the 2021 Winship 5K. Super excited to have you joining us this morning as we kick off what will be a first ever hybrid event of both in-person and a virtual event at the same time. As we know, the virtual event is going to go from Saturday, September 25th until the in-person event on Saturday, October 2nd. So the beautiful part about that is hopefully we can get a lot more participants just for folks even who are far away that want to show their support of those that we love, as well as support for Winship overall. You can find more information at winship5k.emory.edu. And moving into the technology world of QR codes, back up for 1 second. There's a QR code on the screen for anybody who needs it. And you just take kind of like what we've done in the restaurants as of late. If you take your phone and put it on camera, you can scan the QR code and it will download everything from the participant center and all the information that you need as we kick off the event. So super excited to have you here today and to have you joining us today. My name is Gail Grimmett. I am the newly elected vice chair of the advisory board. I am filling in today for our illustrious chairman, Ed Steinman. I have big shoes to fill. He was unable to make it today, but could not be more proud to kick this off for the team. I think, from the role of the advisory board, this is one of our biggest opportunities to really continue to raise funds and show the support that we have for Emory. And I'll talk a little bit, further about the role of the advisory board, but really for us, it's our way of supporting Winship, both in providing feedback, but equally as important, working with Irene and Scott, who will join us later on, as we continue to raise funds for Winship overall. Before I talk about that part of the efforts, though, I do want to have a couple of housekeeping things, and I want to talk to you about first and foremost, more importantly, talk to you about why you're here, and thank you for your participation. Just a few housekeeping rules, though. If you have questions, please type them in the Q&A and in the comment section, and we have people who will be looking through the section the whole way through, so we'll be able to answer your questions during the course of the morning. Also, please don't forget to register for the 5K if you have not registered for the 5K yet. Again, I'm going to keep giving out the website of winship5k.emory.edu. And for those of you who did not see it when you logged in, please know this event is being recorded. And I wanted to make sure that you all knew that the event is being recorded, and keep that in mind as you're typing your questions, or if you want to follow up with us afterwards, of course, you can continue to send us emails as the course of as we ramp up to the October 2nd date for the actual in-person event. First and foremost, I want to thank you all who have joined us today. I cannot tell you how important it is to have our sponsors and our team members and our captains here. So incredibly important to all of us. I have to say, it's been a pleasure and a joy to watch this really expand over the last 11 years. I was involved from the very beginning at the inception, and I can tell you when this first kicked off, we had, I think there were maybe 2 or 3 sponsors, and it was such a tiny event. And then we got there the next year, the second year, and it just exploded in terms of the support. And now watching us as we've continued to grow, I mean, to have the goal of $800,000 this year, and we're more than halfway there, by the way, everybody, super excited about that. But to watch it really explode, to see the support of the sponsors and the teams, I mean, you're what makes this a success. And it's a success in so many ways, I can tell you. And, I'll talk about it in a minute, but, for those of us who are going through it as caregivers or as patients, the support that we feel from that event is phenomenal. It energizes us to see that there's a whole village out there that's there to support us as we go through what we're going through. So that's the first piece. But the second piece is more important and equally as important, and something we should all be very proud of, is that Winship Cancer Institute is the only NCI designated, National Cancer Institute designated hospital in the entire state of Georgia. And that designation is something that there's only 71 hospitals in the entire US that have that NCI designation. It is the highest federal rating a cancer center can achieve. And really what gets you that NCI designation is not only the care that they give to the patients that are there, but also really kicking off the leading edge state-of-the-art research that's focused on developing new and better approaches to preventing cancer, to treating cancer. And it's that state-of-the-art research that I think brings us all to Winship. And really, I can tell you personally, I lost my husband 2 years ago after an 11-year battle, but I can assure you I had many more years with him because of the care and the research and the access that we had at Winship than we would have gotten anywhere else. And so what we're doing today is you'll see the emotional uplift and you'll feel it from your loved ones and family and your friends that you're supporting during the course of the day. But equally as important, what this money is going toward is really important as we continue the NCI designation, because it's really access to new and evolving state-of-the-art research. And I firmly believe that there is that when that cure is out there, and as these cures get developed for each of the cancer types, Winship is a part of every one of those. I mean, Winship plays a key role in just about every research project that is done across this country. And that's because of you guys. It's because of what you do, each year for this 5K. So I can't tell you again how much we appreciate the support and generosity of our sponsors and our team members and our captains. I said briefly, I've been a part of this for the last 11 years. My husband was a multiple myeloma patient for 11 years. And some of our best memories have been this 5K. And it brings back great memories for our family. It makes us, it makes me laugh as I think of some of the things that we've gone through. I'm part of a sponsorship team from Delta Airlines, Keep Climbing Up, as we've called ourselves this year. I'm an executive with Delta Airlines, and Delta has been a part and a sponsor of this race from the very beginning. We lose entirely way too many of our employees, and too many of our employees are impacted by cancer each year. And, to be able to have Winship right in our backyard of our headquarters is hugely important to us, and anything that we can do to make sure that we're supporting, our family members and our own employees with the best of care is important to us as a company. And so could not be more proud that, again, Delta is sponsoring this. I will be out there on October 2nd with my colleagues and my friends and my family, continuing to support the efforts of Winship as we move forward. And it's, like I said, it's an event that personally means so very much to me in carrying on my husband's legacy and also in being able to support those who are fighting the battle today. So with that, I am going to introduce you to somebody who I have the distinct pleasure of working very closely with, Irene Hammer-McLaughlin. She's the Managing Executive Director of Development for Winship. She and Scott are like the dynamo of the duo dynamo of really putting this together and continuing the development efforts, quite frankly, all year round for Winship. And we're lucky and grateful to have her, and excited to bring her on and chat with you all about the importance of the 5K. So Irene, it's all yours.
Gail, thank you so much for that incredibly kind introduction. I'm so honored to be here and serving as the Executive Director of Development for Winship. As I know so many of you know, Winship is an incredibly special place. The people here are kind and brilliant and lovely. And I feel so fortunate to be working with such incredible people. And we're based in a city that's growing into a biomedical mecca. And simply put, Winship is really uniquely poised to develop treatments and cures. And as Gail said, we cannot do this without you. It's because of you that we're able to emerge into this powerhouse research entity. And I really want to thank everyone here for participating in the Winship 5K and for all that you would do every day to advance cancer research and care. And there's two groups in particular I want to call out for the special impact that you make. Sponsors first, thank you. You're responsible, and Scott's going to throw up a slide later on that basically lists all of our sponsors and just how incredible you are, but you're responsible for more than $225,000 in support this year alone. That's 4 to 5 promising pilot research projects that would never have been undertaken without you. I don't even know how to express how important that is. That's biomarkers and potential drugs that could result in cures. Without you, that would not happen. So that's first. Thank you to all of our sponsors. And then teams, you consistently raise the majority of events this event secures every year. What you do to advance research and to understand and treat conditions like lung cancer and breast cancer, leukemia and lymphoma, brain cancer is nothing short of extraordinary. Thank you for helping Winship move from eminence to excellence. And speaking of moving from excellence to eminence, it's my great pleasure to introduce my colleague, who many of you are going to think of as the new Pam, but I think of him as Great Scott. Here is Winship's new Director of Development Events, Scott Larimore.
Thanks so much, Irene. You're too kind to say that about me. But first of all, hi, everybody. Would love to introduce myself. I'm Scott. I've worked on this event for many years on the logistics side of it, and have moved this year, as Irene had said, into the relationship role. And we'll be interfacing directly with you. If you have questions, comments, concerns, or just need help with something, please directly reach out to me. You can get me quickest by either calling me at the number on the screen or using the email address of winship5k@emory.edu, and someone on our Winship team will respond to that email within 24 hours. I want to say thank you again. Irene and Gail have both explained how much of an impact you have on this race. And as of this morning, 30 minutes ago, we are at $418,000 raised, which is over 50% of our goal. And we couldn't do that in a pandemic year, a second pandemic year, without you. And we are just thrilled and honored that you are willing to support us in this race, and to continue partner with us and to collaborate with us in making this what I hope to become as well known as the Peachtree Road Race, as the world's greatest 5K. Also Q&A. If you have questions, please feel free to put the questions in the Q&A. Currently, there aren't any questions, but if there are some that we can answer, we will be happy to do so towards the end of the program after we hear from some other people today. Quick update on the website. This year, there's a details link. If you go to the winship5k.emory.edu, you can click on the details page. The reason that I'm showing you this is there is now an about section, a do-it-yourself media toolkit. The explainer videos are there. And then the FAQs, which are frequently asked questions that would help you and your team come up with the answers to things. If there's not a FAQ on there, we gladly will add it if you ask us a question that we haven't thought of. But that is it. Please ask as many questions as you can. And I now have the distinct privilege of introducing to you, for my first time introducing him, to Dr. Ramalingam, who has pre-recorded a video message for us today. And give me one quick second to get that ready for you. But there's an explainer video of the 5K that we will show, and then Dr. Ram will give his comments, and then Gail will come back after that video. So thank you so much for being part of this. Thank you, captains. Thank you, sponsors. We could not do it without you. We are blessed to have you as part of our story.
Every patient's fight against cancer is not won in a day. and victory is impossible to achieve alone. It takes a collaborative team that shows up every day. This year, we gather again for the 5K race that changes lives. Once again, hope will overcome hurdle. Imagination will overcome isolation. Determination will overcome distance. The 11th annual Winship 5K is hybrid this year. We will team up to win the fight one step at a time on October 2nd, 2021. This family-friendly in-person event combines interactive content that also allows you to participate from home, the park, or anywhere you please. You can download race bibs to help you get pumped to take on each day by yourself or with your team. You can join us on social media using the hashtag Winship5K. How-to videos like pre-race stretches can guide your Winship experience. Running and walking routes tracked by Strava will help you beat your best personal record and get ready for race day. However you choose to take part this year, all these features are designed for you to share and celebrate small and large victories along the way. Over 10 years, the Winship 5K has successfully raised more than $6.5 million for those affected by cancer. Now, we need your help more than ever. As healthcare still tends to the effects of the pandemic, cancer diagnoses continue to occur, making it more important to raise money for a world without cancer. If we can each win the day, together, we will win the fight.
Thank you so much for joining today. This year's Winship 5K is just a few weeks away. I look forward to the opportunity to see you all and to have another successful edition of the Winship 5K. As you know, over the years, Winship 5K has raised several $1 million to support research at the Winship Cancer Institute. This year, we're well positioned to do very well, thanks to all of you. First, I want to thank our team captains for your hard work. I also want to thank all our sponsors for your support of the program, which is essential for our success. The funds that we raise from the Winship 5K go to directly support cancer research at the Winship Cancer Institute. We support promising, exciting new ideas, which are intended to improve the lives of patients with cancer. We've also used the funds to recruit top-notch scientists and physicians from across the country to come to Winship and be part of some exceptional research teams that we have here. We've also used the funds to honor and support the research of outstanding researchers in the form of the Winship 5K professorship, thanks to your support. Dr. Adam Marcus is a Winship 5K professor, and his lab is looking at novel approaches to preventing cancer metastases. There are many examples like this that have been made possible by your support of Winship 5K. Ultimately, our vision is to discover cures for cancer and inspire hope for people. I believe that this year's Winship 5K is well positioned to meet its targets and hopefully exceed its targets, and also provide the opportunity for us to engage with our cancer patients, their family members, the survivors, to celebrate the successes that we have accomplished and to bring hope to people who are facing this difficult journey. So once again, thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you on October 2nd.
I loved Dr. Ram's comments. I had the opportunity to hear him speak a few weeks ago as well. And the thing that strikes me, or really, struck me when we were speaking, was not only his focus on research, but the continued focus on the patient experience and the patient treatment while going through Winship and going through treatment. So excited that we at least got him on video. I know he has a very busy schedule, and hopefully you all will get to meet him October 2nd for those of you who are there in person. In the meantime, and like the video, talk about fighting the fight. I am excited to introduce somebody who is part of the Winship 5K team who really has quite a story for us. I wanted to introduce you to Komen Allgood. Komen is a cancer survivor who is supported by his wife, Kathy. He first learned of the 5K while in the hospital recovering from treatment, and he participated in the 0.5K while in the hospital in combination with the overall 5K. But what is such a great story is this year, Komen and Kathy have created a team that honors his life ethos of it's all good. Get it? Komen Allgood. I love that. And with their team, Do Happy Today, sponsored by Truist Bank. They are forming a team and will be joining us in the full 5K this year. So Komen and Kathy, we would love to hear your story and so thrilled to have you joining us this year.
Hello, thank you so much for having us here today. My name is Komen Allgood. I am a happy, positive life coach, and I am honored to be here just to share a few words about my experience at Emory and what this 5K means to me. I'm a runner. I run marathons and half marathons, and I found myself in an opposite situation in 2019. That is when cancer found me and tapped me on my shoulder and said, I am here. I didn't know what was going on. I was rushed to the hospital. And once they told me and diagnosed me with cancer, my first words were, take me to Winship Cancer Center. The doctors there, they tried to tell me, we can take care of you. We can make sure you're going to be okay. I said, no, take me. I have to go to Emory. I was transported where I met Dr. Mayfield there and his team, and it was an amazing, awesome experience that I had there. When he first walked in the room, he told me, you're going to be fine. I'm one of the best in the country. I know this cancer that you have, which is a rare cancer called the GIST sarcoma. It's a tumor that was inside my stomach. And I felt very comfortable with him once I looked in his eyes and he told me I'm the best in the country. And he is the best. He saved my life. He removed that cancer tumor, and I do not have cancer as of today. And as she stated, I was not able to actually run that race back then. But I remember when Allison Hahn came inside the room so pleasantly. She walked in and she looked down. She said, I met your wife. She told me you're a runner. We're raising money so we can find a cure for this dangerous disease. Would you want to be involved? And I said, hey, I'm on board. I'm on board. Anybody I know is on board. So this is what this 5K means to me now. This will be the first year I can actually lace up, get my bib number, and stand and wait to start this race. And I can tell you now, I already know that it's going to feel amazing. And my wife, she would like to say a few words as well.
Hi, everyone. We are so excited to be a part of this kickoff and really more importantly, a part of this amazing event. The picture that you saw while he was speaking was our wedding day. That was June 25th of 2019. And it was just 60 days later that we were at Emory. So it really hit us newlyweds. We didn't plan for that to happen in our first year. But really we knew the journey had to serve a purpose in our lives. We saw that very, very clearly while we were in the hospital room at Emory. So the cancer literally hit him and me like a ton of bricks. It left him without words, which rarely happens. Oddly enough, though, we knew that it had a purpose in our lives. He had no idea how he was going to deal with this seemingly awful thing and still help his life coach clients, encouraging them to be happy despite all the things. When Allison came to our room and saw our wall of positivity, we had a whole wall that had t-shirts and all positive sayings because there was no negativity allowed in our room. Right then we committed to the race. So we just want to encourage others to stay positive and happy through their journey and come out to celebrate this amazing, wonderful event. And as Gail said earlier, share the joy of all of those that are walking and running through this journey right now, and celebrate those who had the privilege of being in their loved ones' lives when they were still here. Y'all are so wonderful, and it is because of what you do that I am able to stand next to my husband and speak to you and run this race. And so I want to say thank you so much. Thank you for letting us have this time. And I'm going to give it back to my husband for a bit.
And I just want to piggyback on my wonderful, amazing wife who just stood by my side and just slept in the room with me, which the Emory Center team allowed her. They gave her coffee. They were so comforting. And I just want to thank everybody that has an ear on this Zoom right now. And I just want to thank you for what you're doing. You may not know exactly the impact you're having on us, especially the cancer survivors and the families of the survivors. And there are people out there right now, they have no clue, just as I was, what's in the future for them. And with this 5K, raising money to hopefully find a cure, by chance, with all of us coming together to win this fight against cancer, we possibly can find a cure. So by chance, if someone run into this situation, we can keep them alive. I want to thank Scott, his wonderful, wonderful spirit, just for being in my family and sharing his family with us. And again, thank you so much for everyone that's participating in raising money to find a cure for this serious disease. Thank you.
Komen and Kathy, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. I look forward to meeting you on October 2nd and being able to meet you in person, and your spirit and your commitment is appreciated and heartfelt, and just know we're all here to continue to support the efforts with you. And talking about the importance of having a team, I think this one is near and dear to my heart as I introduce Don, Cassidy, and Carly Aronin. Don and his daughters, Cassidy, Kelsey, and Carly, recently lost his wife and the girl's mother. And yet they're celebrating Erica by keeping her incredible team and her incredible memory alive through the Lungs and Roses team this year in honor of Erica, and to celebrate what would have been Erica's 60th birthday by raising $60,000 for the 5K. And Don's going to share with us about why a team matters and team fundraising and how it helps to fund cancer research. And Don, we so appreciate you being here with us today and for sharing your story and sharing your incredible family with us.
Gail, thank you so much. Lungs and Roses. This was a team started by Erica and a friend of hers who was also a lung cancer survivor. Neither of them were smokers. And Erica's friend, Tammy Fisher, lost her battle back in September of 17. But they started Lungs and Roses in 2016. Erica was diagnosed in 2015. And because of Winship, and because of Dr. Ramalingam, and Gail, you alluded to this earlier talking about your husband, is that Erica and I were firmly convinced that Erica just enjoyed a better life, a longer life, both in terms of longevity and quality because of the care at Winship. So this is, the old saying is that it's not business, it's personal. For this, it's personal to me, very personal. And you talk about this whole event. It's empowering, I think, was the word that Gail used. Those of you who've never had a team there, when you go there, when you're able to participate physically, you cannot believe the power of the emotion, the energy that you will derive from this, in being around those that have had cancer and are survivors, and those that are family members of those who are survivors, as well as friends. And this started off as something small. This was a token of gratitude that Erica and Tammy wanted to show to their doctors. And in the first year in 2016, I think maybe 50 people were there. We raised maybe $10,000. Erica set this goal. And it becomes a snowball. No dollar amount is too little. The number of people, doesn't matter how few you have on your team, how many you have on your team, it becomes a snowball. So what started off as 10,000, over the years, 20,000. Last year, when it was virtual, we raised $30,000. This year, we've set a goal of 60,000, and I'm quite confident we'll blow through it. But the question is why? Why do we do this? Emory has that NCI designation that Gail referenced. And the importance of that is that it means that, among other considerations, that there's a 25% higher survival rate because of the treatment, because of the research, the depth and the breadth of that research. And you look at it and you say, all right, well, my dollars, can they make a difference? And the question I ask you is, which dollar is the tipping point? Which dollar is the breakthrough that funds a new research, or it combines with other teams, what they raise, that allows Emory to apply for grants that require you, the Institute, to raise a certain amount of funds independent. So don't ever think that what you raise is meaningless, because it's very meaningful. You know, we look at it so far, I just checked, we've raised $25,000 so far from over 150 individuals. No company money yet. I know of a couple of larger donations coming in of 10,000 each. And so, yeah, but this is something that we have gained momentum through the years. You know, the sponsors, you know, what y'all do is incredible. But I want everybody to think of one thing, is that there's no one in this world whose lives haven't been touched by cancer. Either you've had it yourself, you have a loved one that has it, you know of someone who's had it. So the sponsors, when you're sitting here and you're looking on it, and I've worked for companies big and small, and you know, we do some things because it's near and dear to our heart. We do some things because it's part of the community. To be part of the community, we do some things because, you know what, it's expected of us. But I want each of you to remember this, is that in the United States, currently, there's a 40% chance that you will be diagnosed with cancer at some time in your life. And there's a 20% chance approximately that you will die from cancer. So to put that in perspective, you think of the 5 people you love the most, either you and 4 other people, or the 5 people you love the most. Statistically, 2 of them are going to be diagnosed with cancer at some point in their life. And statistically, 1 of them will die from cancer. Now, we lost Erica. She fought for 5.5 years. She lived longer than, you know, statistics said she should have. But I look at it that I have 3 daughters. I have a grandson. I have a son-in-law. I want those odds to be much longer for them. And you know, we say win the fight. That's what I aim to do. Lungs and Roses will be here. My daughters and I will continue this legacy that Erica started. And I invite each of you to continue this fight dollar by dollar. And like a snowball, they will add up. And eventually, this fight will be won. Yeah.
Don, thank you. Thanks so much for sharing both Erica's memory with us and your thoughts on why the team is so special. I like, just similar to the Comans, to Komen and Kathy, I look forward to meeting you on October 2nd and your entire team. It's really inspirational what you all are doing, and just know again that we're all there to support you in that special day as well. It's time now for any questions that anyone might have. Feel free to use the chat function, and I'm going to pull it up just so that I can take a look and see if there were any questions. And I'm going to MC the questions, but Scott, where are you? Because you're supposed to join me right now, because I probably won't have the answers. Scott, oh, there you are. Excellent.
Hey, Gail, how are you?
Yeah. Hello. Good to see you. Anybody have any questions? Anything we can answer for you as we start kicking everything off for the big day, almost a month from now.
So Gail, one question that came in was curiosity, specifically to wanting to know, clarify the virtual portion of this and how it works, that there wasn't much info on the website. So first and foremost, we apologize for that, but thank you so much for asking so that we can elaborate. The virtual component to this race is something that we learned about, essentially we all learned during the pandemic, is that there will always need to be some form of a virtual. So we have meetings where we have people who can join remotely. And so the idea was that this race, although it's fully in person this year, we wanted to be able to we wanted the ability to allow anyone in the world to participate in the fundraising mission that we have at Winship, to participate in that snowball effect that Don talked about. that essentially all we really want to do is allow anyone anywhere to run this race. And that is the virtual option that we are providing to you, and it allows you to join that race from wherever you are. There are no medals necessarily that will be given to you for finishing that virtual race, but we ask you to post your results, your Strava map or your results, and hashtag it with Winship 5K, so that we can see that social media presence as well around the race, and also to know where people are and where they're running from. But thank you so much for that question.
And everybody can log into, I think you have that, you can click on something that hooks you up to Strava on the website. Is that correct? I think
Correct.
I saw that.
You can join
Yeah.
Strava, which is free, and you can join our Strava team, which basically week over week, it's a way for you, if you're competitive, most of us are, to see how much you aren't training versus how much people are training. And that allows you to really just kind of get into it and train harder. And I do look at it each week, and I try to beat those that are out there, because I'm kind of a type A competitive person. So,
just so you know, my favorite 5K story was from 2014. It was 90 days out of Daryl's stem cell transplant, and he wanted to run, and I ran every day. And so I said, okay. And so 90 days out, he took off running, and twice during the 5K, I had to ask him to slow down. And it was both the most humbling experience of my life and the most ecstatic experience of my life, because the fact that I had to ask him to slow down, honestly, my pride was so getting in the way, but couldn't be happier. I mean, there's a memory for each one of these opportunities, and it reminds me that I probably should get on Strava and at least start training a little bit for the race along the way.
Gail, is it true? I think I remember having a conversation with you where you were so irritated once that Daryl didn't train and he still beat you.
Oh, honestly, that was his 90 days. Literally 90 days out from a stem cell transplant. Twice I asked him to slow down. And then we had another member of our team who wins in her race category every time. I think she was like 65. Tina, if you're on the phone and I misaligned your age, I'm very sorry. But she finished 20 minutes ahead of me and Daryl. And I felt like I should just I felt like such an underachiever by the time I was done with the race. But it made me laugh at the same time. Literally he took off.
That's awesome. This one just popped up as well, Gail. It's kind of fun to have reverse roles and ask you the questions. Sorry. What is the last day that we can submit donations for this year? Do you want me to answer?
I think if I recall, and I could be way off here, isn't it a month after the race ends? Is it 30 days after the race ends, or are you collecting through the end of the year?
We'll collect through the end of the year.
Okay.
For this race specifically. Another question that I see is a few tips about our teams and home pages. So this year, if you've done the race before, Participant Center is an upgraded, newer version. Gail, I'm sure you can speak to this as well, and other team captains, but you really can do anything and everything that you've always wanted to do with your team through Participant Center. So everyone who is an individual has a Participant Center, and you can have a web page of your own to fundraise. Those that are team captains, and you can have up to 6 team captains, have a team tab also on their personal pages that allow them to also do that for their team. You can send emails from Participant Center. You can set fundraising goals for your team, and you can also allow access to 5 other people, including yourself, for them to also be team captains to co-fundraise with you. So Delta is an example of this. Gail, you have 6 team captains, all who have a different role on the team in the fundraising goal to either incentivize or to email or to do direct outreach. And so Delta has that team that has come together. Don and his family have done that with Carly, their daughter, who wrote the website, and we got it up and running for them. But again, I'm always here. I'm a phone call away. If you say, Scott, I have no clue where this Participant Center thing is for you, let's have a Zoom meeting. Let's have a phone call. Let me help you find out where this is, because I promise you, once you see it, you'll go, I can do this, and it will help your fundraising for people to have somewhere to land.
And it makes it so easy, by the way. I mean, I have a personal page, but most of the people that I've sent my solicitations out to are just contributing to the team, which is great, because it doesn't make a difference where it shows up as long as it shows up, right? But for those of us who are also, being able to tell stories, being able to post pictures, I think is important. Being able to send, I write I write handwritten thank yous because I'm old like a dinosaur and I don't like to do emails. But if you choose to send email thank yous in a speedier fashion than it takes for me to write them, you actually can email right there from the participant center all of your thank yous that go along with it. And you'll have as a captain of your team, or your captains will be able to do it, or whoever sponsors you personally, you'll be able to get their emails and be able to send a quick thank you right then and there. So it's got a lot of tools on there that come in very useful.
Last call for questions before.
And by the way, I'm sorry, one more thing. I actually put my link out on social media as well. So I put it out on Facebook, and then I put it in my Instagram bio line, so that people have an easy way of getting to the homepage when they, when you inspire them and they're ready to donate or be part of the team.
Gotcha. We have another question that's just come in from Lance, who I had the privilege of meeting earlier this year. Will a database of contacts and donors remain in place after the race? Yes, every year the team captain on file can recreate the team each year. So for instance, Lance, if you had a team this year, next year when you go to sign up, it'll ask you if you want to start that team again. And all of your content will auto-populate back into your new team website. And if it doesn't, if you give me a call, I can download it and get it uploaded back into the new team. So for instance, with Delta this year, when they went to create their team, the website was still young and not ready for consumption by the consumer yet. And we went ahead and we took everything Gail had on a previous team page and copied it straight over. And their team has been up and running now since then. So, and then another thing I want to make sure to highlight is the do-it-yourself toolkit that's on the webpage. If you go to the details section of the 5K, essentially what you can do is download bibs, flyers. We have 8.5 by 11 flyers that we would love to see you put up all over your place of employment, and make sure that you essentially just advertise the race. Do as much as you can. There are 11 by 17 posters. There are do-it-yourself bibs if you're running at home that you can download and print. There's also the backgrounds that you can use on Zoom. That Gail and I
subtle advertising. I would have blended with what I'm wearing today. I would have blended right into the background. But Scott, can you put the background up?
So
it's nice subtle advertising when everybody is on their Zoom meetings.
So we have
there we go.
We have an option of a white, and we also have the option of a blue. And if you are a sponsor of the race, feel free to reach out to me directly. I know that I see Alex is on the call with Peach State. But we do have a background for them that has Peach State in between where we have Winship Win the Fight 5K. And then also on that do-it-yourself section is everything you'll need necessarily to just go ahead and get everything up and running for your team. And if there's not something there that we can provide, please tell me, and I will make sure that we get you what you need. Please don't email me and ask me for $1 million. I can't provide that, but I can definitely get you marketing and any type of materials that you'll need to go forward. But
if you had that $1 million, I would be hitting you up for the donation it would all be donated.
We
by
can
the
work
time
on
we were done.
that.
Yeah.
But what I'll go ahead and do is hand this over to Gail. If you have questions, please remember Winship 5K at emory.edu, or the phone number is 404-727-3195. Please reach out to me directly, and someone on our team or myself will get back in touch with you. But Gail, go ahead and take it away.
Excellent. Thanks, Scott. And my thanks to all of you for joining us today. A special thank you to our sponsors. I think we've said it time and time again, but watching from where this came from to where we are now, where 11 years ago, there were probably 2 or 3 of us on this page, to looking at the pages of sponsors that we have. We could not do this without you and without your commitment and sense of, commitment to the community and commitment to Winship, and the amount of energy that you and your teams bring into this event. To those team captains that are heading up teams, thank you. I know I have Virginie and Jenny on the Delta team that has year after year after year knocked it out of the park for us, and it's not an easy job. I can assure you, and I know our captains have done a great job, just like everybody's captains, and it's not easy. And so this event could not happen without you, but more importantly, the research that we all have access to would not happen without all of you, as well as the NCI donation, the NCI designation. So again, I look forward to either seeing your results virtually and or meeting you all in person on October 2nd. Feel free again to reach out. I'm going to hit home one more time to winship5k@emory.edu if you have any questions whatsoever. I know both Irene and Scott couldn't be more thrilled to help anybody out. And thanks for joining us for today. And equally as important, thanks for joining us for the 5K. We certainly appreciate all of you. Thanks so much. Bye.